Broadcasting live from the Business RadioX studios in Atlanta, Georgia, it's time for Atlanta Business Radio. Brought to you by OnPay. Built in Atlanta, OnPay is the top-rated payroll and HR software anywhere. Get 1 month free at onpay.com. Now, here's your host.
Lee Cantor here, another episode of Atlanta Business Radio, and this is going to be a good one. And remember, this work would not be possible without the support of our sponsor, OnPay, so please support them so we can continue to share these important stories. Today on Atlanta Business Radio, we have Shaun Bank, and he is with ImagineX Consulting. Welcome, Shaun.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
Before we get too far into things, tell us about ImagineX. How are you serving folks?
Yeah. ImagineX is a boutique technology consulting firm that focuses on cybersecurity, agile software engineering, cloud migrations, DevOps and automation, and data insights. We're about 5 years old, and we are headquartered here in Atlanta.
So now, how has kind of COVID impacted your business in terms of your consulting? What kind of work are you doing to help your clients get through this?
Yeah, the work has changed with this pandemic. Obviously, some industries, some of our clients have been more impacted than other clients. Particularly, we're seeing, obviously, hospitality and travel clients significantly impacted, and their work is really focused on cost-cutting and efficiencies. We've seen financial services, insurance, and banking still pretty strong. And cybersecurity is something that is, it's a must-have regardless of the pandemic. It's almost more important now during the pandemic to make sure that cybersecurity initiatives are still moving forward, especially with the amount of remote working that is going on. It's critical for companies to secure their remote workforces during this time.
So now how do you counsel your clients that are moving to a work from home kind of environment where maybe they historically hadn't done that or not done it to the extent they're doing it now? Are there some kind of advice you can give everybody that's listening to make that go smoother?
Yeah, great question. And a lot of customers have come to us asking how to become efficient with a remote workforce. And in our company, we've been a remote workforce for the duration of our lifespan, right? So we have consultants all around the country, and we have consultants even in Canada. And so working remotely and collaborating using tools like Slack and Microsoft Teams and communications tools like Zoom have always been part of our daily work. It's just becoming more and more important now. And so it's really just a shift in flexibility for our clients' employees, and in knowing that, them not being in the office means they're juggling kids and potentially schooling their kids. They're juggling other things in their personal lives that have to coexist with work. And so flexibility becomes important. It becomes more about, trusting folks to get their work done, but, knowing that they are going to get work done on their own schedule. And so it may be during different times of the day. It may be early in the morning. It may be late in the evening because, life is now and living at home has changed how we do work. And so if companies focus on the output, what they'll see is that actually remote workers can be just as efficient, if not more efficient, because if you can create an environment at your home where you're connected and somewhat separated from the rest of your family, you can still get a lot of work done. And without having coworkers walking in, you're focused on making your meetings very effective and very efficient. So you just have to be more specific about what you need from folks, and very organized in how you set up your meetings, and that just creates efficiency. So we've seen companies that are doing this well actually be more efficient with their work than when everyone was in the office.
Well, from a productivity standpoint, that makes sense to me as I'm dealing with this here with my work, so I can really relate to that. Now, how about in those highly regulated companies? How do they handle the cybersecurity element of it in order to keep the data safe while, there could be a bunch of people sharing Wi-Fi, there might be, bandwidth issues. There might be the opportunity to, kind of penetrate the employee's computer if it's not kind of secured properly.
Yeah, correct, right. So in financial services and our banking clients, they were pretty, because of the regulations, they already had pretty advanced VPN solutions in place for remote work. But what has happened is there's been, over the past several months, those companies had to really mobilize and spend a significant amount of time securing their remote workforce. A lot of it had been procuring new devices, ensuring that all of their devices and all of their machines were patched and upgraded. And a big part of what we do is called vulnerability management, where we actually perform scanning using tools like Qualys, Tanium for vulnerabilities at the perimeter to ensure that any device connected to a corporate network is being scanned for operating system vulnerabilities, and providing that data real time and providing remediations has helped reduce the risk of a lot of our enterprise customers. But they have to be very diligent about it, and they have to. A lot of it is also a training and communication program, especially around phishing campaigns, right? You see a lot of phishing and botnet attacks that are happening now with COVID. And so education of the workforce is critical to understand when you're at home, what are those phishing emails that you need to be careful of, because there are ways now for those bad actors to get into the network. And they're looking for ways to get into the network via the most vulnerable device. It's like a chain link fence, and corporate security is only as strong as its weakest link, and hackers try to exploit that link. And so there's a lot of work there. We're working pretty diligently advising our customers in how to secure their networks quickly using enterprise tools. And then our smaller customers, we're also providing advice around how to secure on-premise applications, and in many cases, using this as an impetus to move those applications to the cloud, to solutions like AWS and Azure that have inherent privacy protocols and security protocols that we can implement very quickly versus trying to secure on-premise software and hardware.
Now let's talk a little bit about your career. You started out in the kind of some of the larger firms, and then now this is kind of I guess I don't know if it's your first, but it's definitely an entrepreneurial venture that you've co-founded. Can you talk about the transition going from these larger, more robust firms that have a lot of resources through a lot of history, and they're kind of maybe the safe purchase for a lot of companies? How do you differentiate yourself and your firm, and how has the transition been for you?
Yeah, that's true. I did spend the early part of my career working at a very large global consulting firm for many years, and then moved over to a smaller company, and that grew significantly while I was there as well. And so I kind of got bit with the entrepreneurial bug during that second stint, where I kind of saw how you could grow a consulting firm, how you could add value, and how you could differentiate from the large enterprise players. And so about 5.5 years ago, I did co-found with some other former colleagues, ImagineX Consulting, and our goal was to differentiate ourselves by, number one, focusing deeply in specific technologies like cybersecurity, data, and agile software engineering, but really being able to implement solutions in a very flexible and easy to work with manner. And so that is how we have built a reputation over the past 5 years. We've worked with over 70 customers and implemented over 250 projects. And most of our customers are multi-year customers. As we like to get in add value very quickly on small projects. We're not trying to implement very large solutions. We're trying to build point solutions that can then be expanded and scaled. So we show our value very quickly. We're easy to work with. We're flexible. We understand the constraints of our clients, and we work with them. What it comes down to is what I like to call hustle, right? And every entrepreneur has to have a hustle mentality, and that is the mentality that we breed and support at ImagineX in being easy to work with for our customers, having a very high value proposition for the skill set of our consultants, and being able to implement innovative solutions at higher quality faster for our customers.
Now, what's more rewarding for you in terms of running your own show now compared to maybe being a cog in a machine of a larger entity? Is it where do you get the most kind of emotional payoff?
That's I think the biggest question and the main question I get asked in starting the company, and it is it's the sense of pride that I get when I see my consultants and the leaders in my organization do amazing things. It's this concept of stewardship that you don't really, you can understand when you're at a bigger company, but you don't really appreciate it until you are at a small company where you have to rely on others. You can't scale, you can't grow by just doing everything yourself. And so you have to let go and trust people and know that they will deliver. And I just get an immense satisfaction when I see them do amazing things and really take on additional responsibility that they wouldn't have the opportunity to do at a large company, where I have folks that are working on internal initiatives or helping clients in innovative ways that are helping us deliver value in this COVID environment in ways that we never thought possible, and with a big company might not happen because of bureaucracy or red tape. With us, we encourage our consultants to be entrepreneurial themselves and solve problems and support them. And so when I see that happening, and I see when I have customers come back to me, praising those consultants, it fills me with a great sense of pride, and also just seeing people grow in their careers at ImagineX, over the past 5 years. I'm watching young engineers grow up to be senior technology consultants that are driving projects and acting in kind of interim CTO roles. That to me is, just absolutely satisfying and makes me feel good.
Well, you must be doing something right. You've been awarded Best Place to Work for a couple of years, so
we have.
Congratulations on that.
Thank you.
For you and your team, do you have a sweet spot that you specialize in, or you're kind of generalists?
Yeah, I would say a sweet spot where we see it, really most customers coming to us where we combine really all of our skill sets is around cyber data solutions. So when you think about the amount of cybersecurity data that is out there, every company has multiple tools that they are using to either test, their internal software, to scan their infrastructure, to be detecting patches out there that need to be implemented, managing remediations, and integrating with other enterprise solutions. We are, our strongest area is around that intersection where we are able to use our engineering team to connect all these cybersecurity systems together. We're able to use our data team to be able to understand the data deeply, because our data folks have deep understanding of cyber data specifically. And then we're able to visualize that data, consolidate it up, and visualize it for executives so that they really can make use of that data and take action against the data. Right now, there's a lot of noise out there. CISOs will look at the data and see, this mountain of issues that need to be remediated, and they don't know where to begin. And so we are able to infuse that expertise and automate those processes to build real-time insights into the cybersecurity issues that are critical, how they need to be patched and fixed, and how our clients need to mitigate risk. We're doing it now in kind of custom solutions where there's no enterprise way to do that now. So that's what I would consider our specialty.
And then is this mostly mid-market to enterprise level companies, or do you work with funded startups? Like what's the size of the company you normally work with?
Yeah, I would say our sweet spot is the mid-market to enterprise. Where we love to work is in the mid-market or well-funded startups. We're actually working with a well-funded startup on a cybersecurity solution, a cybersecurity network VPN, ultra-secure solution that we are partnering directly with that customer to build their product from the ground up and push it out to the market. So it's really exciting because it's obviously very timely where everyone's going remote. A lot of data, sensitive data, is being collaborated upon outside of the corporate network. So how do we secure that, and how do we create a collaborative environment? That's one of our customers that is focused on that, and we're a big part of building that solution and helping it be successful in the market.
Now, are your clients all over the world? Or are they in the U.S.? Are they in the Southeast? Where they come from?
Majority are in the United States. We also operate in Canada. We actually have a Canadian team in Toronto. So right now we do have a couple clients that are Canadian companies. We also have an active customer that is in Israel. So we are fairly agnostic, but I would say the majority of our customers are centralized on the East Coast between Atlanta, the Carolinas, DC, and New York.
And right now, getting through this pandemic, are you seeing any trends or something that's going to, when the pandemic wanes, will be opportunities?
Yeah, I think there are a lot of opportunities. Obviously, the easy ones that folks kind of clue into is, the industries that are, going to be critical post-pandemic. You look obviously at healthcare, especially telehealth. You look at telecommunications companies that are poised to focus on that. What we're seeing actually is really 5G is probably going to be a really kind of hot area and mid-pandemic, right? Taking advantage of 5G networks. And we're actually lucky to be an ecosystem partner with the Verizon 5G Innovation Hub, which is actually sitting in our office here in Atlanta, where we partner with Verizon, with partners like 1110 to deliver 5G innovations, or specifically right now, the Emory Innovation Hub. So focus on first responders and the future, as we see it. And so I think 5G is definitely going to be something that we're focusing on. And by virtue of our partnerships with Verizon, 1110, and Emory Innovation Hub, we're well poised to support that innovative work.
And if somebody wanted to learn more, have more substantive conversation about you and your work, what's the website?
Yeah, our website is www.imgnx.co or www.imaginexconsulting.com.
Good stuff. Well, Shaun, thank you so much for sharing your story today.
Absolutely. Thanks for having me.
All right. This is Lee Cantor. We'll see you all next time on Atlanta Business Radio. And remember, this work would not be possible without the support of our sponsor, OnPay. Please support them so we can continue to share these important stories.
Today's episode of Atlanta Business Radio is brought to you by OnPay. Built in Atlanta, OnPay is the top-rated payroll and HR software anywhere. Get 1 month free at onpay.com.